The barbecue smoke hung thick in the backyard, mixing with the smell of cheap beer and overcooked burgers. Dad was holding court by the grill, spatula in one hand, Coors in the other, laughing too loud like always. My sister Kayla was perched on the picnic table, legs swinging, wearing that fake innocent smile she pulls out whenever she wants something. "So yeah," she said, loud enough for the whole family to hear, "Tanner and I are basically homeless right now. The landlord sold the building out from under us like zero notice." Aunt Linda gasped on cue. "That's awful, sweetie." Mom clutched her heart. "You poor babies." I kept flipping the corn on the grill, pretending I wasn't listening. My jaw was so tight it hurt. Dad turned to me, wiping sweat off his forehead with the back of his wrist. "Brielle, honey, your cabin up on Black Bear Mountain. It's just sitting there empty most of the year, right?" I froze. Here it comes. Kayla jumped in before I could speak. "Exactly. It's perfect. It's got, 3 bedrooms? We'd only need it for a few months, just till we find something." I set the tongs down slowly. "It's not empty. I go up there every other weekend." Dad waved me off like I'd said the sky was green. "Come on, Brielle. Family helps family. Kayla's in a real bind here." Kayla gave me those big doe eyes. "It's not like we'd be in your way. You barely use the place." I felt every pair of eyes swing toward me. Cousin Jake smirking behind his phone. Mom already nodding like the decision was made. I opened my mouth, closed it. Dad kept going. "It's settled then. Kayla, you and Tanner take the cabin. Brielle will give you the keys tonight." Just like that. No asking, no discussion, just settled. Kayla hopped off the table and threw her arms around Dad's neck. "Thank you, Daddy. You're the best." Then she looked at me, smile sharp as broken glass. "You're a lifesaver, Brielle. Seriously, I couldn't breathe right. My name is Brielle, and trust me, nothing about my life used to feel this cruel. I built that cabin with my own hands. Well, mine and Grandpa's. Every summer for 4 years after he got sick, he left me the land in his will, left me the money to finish it, told me it was mine alone. Your sanctuary, he called it. I poured every overtime shift, every skipped vacation, every tear after Mom's cancer came back into those cedar walls, and now my little sister, who once borrowed my college savings for a trip to Coachella, was moving in because Dad said so. I stood there holding a plate of burned corn while everyone went back to laughing and eating, like my entire world hadn't just cracked down the middle. Later, when the sun dropped and the string lights came on, Kayla cornered me by the cooler. "Hey," she nudged my shoulder. "Don't be mad, okay? It's temporary. 3 months tops." I stared at her. "You didn't even ask me." She rolled her eyes. "God, Brielle, it's a house. You have an apartment here in Denver. It's not that big a deal." "It's my house." She sighed like I was the difficult one. "Look, I get it. You're still pissed about the savings thing. You mean when you stole $23,000? I paid you back 6 years later after I had to drop out for a semester." Her face hardened. "You always bring that up. You can't let anything go." I laughed short and ugly. "Right, I'm the problem." Dad's voice boomed across the yard. "Brielle, keys?" I looked at Kayla, at the girl who always got the bigger bedroom, the new car at 16, the full ride to ASU while I worked nights at the hospital. She held out her hand. I dug the key ring out of my pocket. The little carved bear Grandpa, whittled for me, dangled from it. I unhooked the cabin key, dropped it into her palm. She closed her fingers around it like it had always been hers. That night I sat in my car in the driveway long after everyone went inside. I couldn't stop shaking. I don't know why I did it then. Maybe some part of me already knew. I opened the security app on my phone, the one tied to the cameras I installed last fall after a string of break-ins up near Estes Park motion activated. Night vision. Audio. 8 of them hidden around the property. I'd never turned the cloud recording on full-time before. Battery drain, mostly. My thumb hovered over the toggle. I pressed it. Live feed popped up. Dark, quiet, the front porch, the living room where Grandpa's old rocking chair still sat by the fireplace. I stared at the empty rooms for a long time. Then I whispered to the screen, "Okay, Kayla, let's see what temporary really means." I didn't sleep that night. 3 weeks later, I was sitting in my apartment eating cold lo mein straight from the carton. Scrolling through the camera feeds like some creepy stalker, I told myself I was just checking they hadn't burned the place down. But that was a lie. I was watching, waiting. The first red flag came on a Thursday. I got the motion alert at 2:14 a.m., front door camera. Kayla stumbled in laughing, Tanner's arm slung around her waist. Behind them, 2 people I didn't know. A girl with pink hair and a guy carrying a bottle of Jack. Music blasted 30 seconds later. Some trap remix that rattled the windows. They were having a party in my house. I watched Tanner shotgun a beer on my kitchen island, the one I sanded by hand until my fingers bled. Pink hair girl danced on the coffee table Grandpa built. I closed the app. Opened it again. Couldn't stop. Every day brought something worse. Monday. Kayla on the phone in the master bedroom. My bedroom, telling someone, "Yeah, it's basically ours now." Brielle's too spineless to say no twice. Tuesday. Tanner pissing off the back deck at 3 a.m. because the bathroom line was too long. Friday. I counted 14 people crammed on my couch. Someone spilled red wine on the cream rug I saved 6 months to buy. I texted Kayla that night. Me. "Hey, how's the cabin? Everything okay up there?" Kayla. "OMG, perfect. Thank you again, sis." 3 heart emojis. I threw my phone across the room so hard the screen spider-webbed. The next weekend, I drove up unannounced. I told myself I just needed a few things. My hiking boots, some files. Truth, I needed to see how bad it really was with my own eyes. I pulled into the driveway and my stomach dropped. The yard was trashed. Beer cans everywhere. A broken Adirondack chair, my favorite one, lay on its side like a dead animal. The front door was wide open. Music thumped from inside. I walked in without knocking. The smell hit me first. Weed and sour spilled alcohol. Kayla was on the couch, making out with some guy who definitely wasn't Tanner. She saw me and shrieked, pushing him off. "Brielle, what the hell?" I couldn't speak. I just looked around. My throw pillows were on the floor, soaked in God knows what. The fireplace mantle, where Grandpa's ashes sat in that little cedar box, was covered in empty White Claw cans. Someone had drawn a dick on the wall in Sharpie right next to the photo of me and Grandpa the day we finished the roof. Kayla scrambled up, pulling her shirt down. "You can't just show up. This is my house." She rolled her eyes. "We talked about this." "No, you talked. Dad talked. I never agreed to parties. I never agreed to 20 strangers trashing everything I owned." The guy on the couch smirked. "Chill, babe. It's just a cabin." I looked at him. "Get out." Kayla stepped between us. "You're embarrassing yourself." "Embarrassing myself?" My voice cracked. "This is my home. It's a vacation house you never use." I felt the tears coming and hated myself for it. I turned and walked out, sat in my car and cried so hard I almost threw up. When I got back to Denver, Mom called. "Your sister says you caused a huge scene." I laughed until I couldn't breathe. A scene. She's stressed, Brielle. The move has been hard on her. Hard on her. Don't be selfish. Family helps family. I hung up on her. That night I watched the footage again. At 1:12 a.m., Kayla stood in my kitchen, phone to her ear. "Yeah, Mom, she completely freaked out." "No, I swear we're keeping it clean." "Okay, love you too." She hung up and looked straight into the living room camera, the one hidden in the smoke detector. For a second I thought she saw me. Then she smiled, slow and mean. "Guess someone's jealous of how good we look in her little shack." She flipped off the camera she knew. She'd known the whole time. I stopped sleeping. I'd lie in bed at 3 a.m., hitting refresh on the feeds, waiting for the next notification like an addict. Some nights it was quiet, just Kayla and Tanner smoking on the porch, talking trash about me. Other nights it was chaos. I watched my life get dismantled piece by piece. The final straw came on a Tuesday in October. I got an alert at work. I was in the middle of drawing blood from a 6-year-old who was already crying. I stepped into the hallway and opened the app. Living room camera, Kayla was holding a hammer. She swung it into the flat-screen TV I'd bought last Christmas for myself. Glass exploded. Tanner whooped like a frat boy. Then she walked over to Grandpa's rocking chair, raised the hammer. I dropped my phone, ran to the bathroom and threw up until nothing came out but bile. When I got home that night, I sat on the floor of my apartment and opened every folder, hundreds of clips, hours of footage. Kayla laughing as someone carved K+T forever into my dining table Tanner, throwing my cast iron skillet into the fire because it was too heavy. Strangers having sex on my bed. On Grandpa's quilt, the one his mother made in 1943, I cried until my ribs hurt. Then I stopped crying, because something inside me went very, very quiet. I made a list, every broken thing, every lie, every temporary, that had turned into 4 months. I called Dad. He answered on the third ring, annoyed. Brielle, it's late. I want them out. A long pause. Brielle, come on. Winter's coming. Where are they supposed to go? I don't care. They've destroyed everything. You're overreacting. Dad, my voice shook. They smashed Grandpa's rocking chair, the one he died in. Silence. Then, things are just things, honey. I hung up. The next day, I drove to the sheriff's office in Grand County, sat down with Deputy Martinez, a woman who looked like she'd seen everything twice. I handed her a USB drive. 8 hours of curated footage, destruction of property, trespassing, possible narcotics. She watched 10 minutes and closed the laptop. Ma'am, you want to press charges? I thought about Kayla's face when the deputies showed up. I thought about Dad screaming at me for tearing the family apart. I thought about Grandpa's voice the last time I saw him alive. Promise me you'll protect this place, Brielle. It's yours. Don't let anyone take it from you. I looked Deputy Martinez dead in the eye. Yes. 2 days later, I got the call at 6:07 a.m. Deputy Martinez. We're serving the eviction notice this morning. Thought you might want to be there. I was already in my car. I parked half a mile down the dirt road and waited. At 8:42 a.m., 2 sheriff SUVs rolled up the driveway. I watched on the porch camera. Audio crystal clear. Kayla opened the door in Tanner's oversized hoodie. Hair a mess. Deputy Martinez. Ma'am, this property belongs to Brielle Harper. You have 24 hours to vacate. Kayla laughed. Actually laughed. This is a joke, right? No joke. Criminal trespass. Destruction of property. We have video. Her face went white. Tanner came up behind her. What the hell? The second deputy handed him the paperwork. Kayla started crying. Real tears this time. This is my sister's house. She gave us permission. Ma'am, we have sworn statements from Ms. Harper stating otherwise. I watched Kayla look around. Searching for the cameras she'd flipped off a dozen times. She found one, looked right into it, and for the first time in our lives, she looked small. They left that afternoon. I waited until sunset to drive up. The house smelled like lemon cleaner and shame. They'd tried to fix some of it. Taped cardboard over the broken TV, flipped the carved table upside down like I wouldn't notice Grandpa's rocking chair was in pieces by the fireplace. I sat down in the middle of the living room floor and cried again, but different this time. Relief, maybe. I spent the next month rebuilding. New TV, new rug. I sanded the table myself until the carving was gone. Then stained it darker, I ordered a new rocking chair, exact replica, from the same craftsman in Tennessee Grandpa used. When it arrived, I set Grandpa's cedar box on the seat and whispered, I kept my promise. Dad hasn't spoken to me since Mom left one voicemail, sobbing, that I deleted without listening. Kayla sent a text 2 weeks ago. Kayla, I hate you. I didn't reply. Some bridges aren't worth saving. I still go up every weekend. The cameras are off now. I sit on the porch with coffee and watch the sunrise hit the mountains the way Grandpa taught me. And for the first time in years, I can breathe. What would you do if this happened to you? Tell me in the comments. Thank you for watching The Wordy Revenge. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of betrayal, justice, and redemption. Until next time, stay strong and never stop believing in your truth.